I'm here at home making this shot in a weekend, pretty much with my laptop. How crazy is this? Hi guys, welcome. I'm Freddy from Freddy Makes a Movie, and today I'm going to talk about The Lord of the Rings. Not the whole trilogy, just one shot. I could talk about the whole trilogy, but for today I'm going to be talking about this shot right here. When I first saw this shot, it was for the trailer of The Two Towers, and the first time it happened on screen, you could feel the excitement and thrill in the theater. It was just such a cool shot. You'd never seen anything like this before. So this video actually is going to be the first in a series where I challenge myself recreating my favorite shots from my favorite movies. So because Lord of the Rings happens to be my favorite movie of all time, and because I love the Tower of Orthanc, and because of how much I loved the shot the first time I saw it, this seems to be just the perfect way to start this series. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to recreate this shot with whatever tool I have at my disposal during this weekend, and we'll see what I can cook, how far I can take it to the finish line to look as close as possible to the original masterpiece that is this shot. With that being said, I hope you get to learn something in the process. I hope that I get to learn something in the process, but most importantly, let's just have some fun. I think this is gonna be a really exciting weekend. So tag along, let's get rolling. So for the Tower of Orthanc, I actually found a model on the internet, which is great. I think it's a photo scan. All I needed was just some materials. So I downloaded the Blender Kit add-on, and then from there I found the obsidian material that I needed for it. I just needed to change the scales. But once I changed the scales that matched, then I could jump into the second stage that I like to do right away, which is the lighting. So first, I just get an HDRI that sort of matches that early morning feel. So I start to place the key light, placing any fill lights if needed, flag in this case. The Uruk-hai models are free, but I actually ended up getting the ones that CG Geek cleaned up because they happen to be a little more ready for animation. But once you bring your model into Mixamo, you just want to get as many models as possible. This is how you're going to make your crowd feel real. You don't want to see any repetition, or at least as possible. I think I ended up getting about 13 different animations. So for the crowd itself, I actually used an add-on called Procedural Crowd, which is an incredible add-on actually. I wasn't really successful at getting my custom models to work, so I kind of had to brute force my way. But in the end, it's really easy to work your way around it if you know a little bit of the geometry node principle. But I mean, look at this. The crowd isn't. It's so crazy. So I'm starting to do my first test renders just to see how everything comes together. I did use Midjourney to generate the background. Sue me. It's really nice and easy and convenient. And so at this stage, I'm just trying to get a feel in comp. That's sort of, I try to get to this stage as soon as possible because I want to see if everything comes together nicely or not. And luckily, for an almost end of day type of situation, I was very happy. Okay, pause real quick. I forgot to record myself last night, end of day type of recap. So I'm gonna do that now, just to let you know where I landed on at the end of my first day. End of day one, I was able to get the sky, the tower placement, the crowd placement, and the camera animation. I also started a early stage type of compositing. For a first half evening, I would say I'm pretty happy with the result. Today, I'm gonna focus on adding the spears and the flags, which I forgot to add. Until late afternoon, I'm gonna focus also a little bit on smoke elements that I can add to the scene. And then tonight, I hope that I can actually record myself against a white wall so that I can, latest tomorrow morning, I start the compositing on my element inside the scene. That's just sort of giving you a little recap onto day two. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So for volumetrics, I use embergen. It's really easy and fast, and you just have to export that into Blender. The export is pretty seamless and it looks pretty perfect. I just made a couple of those simulations, duplicated, and then just offset the timing. For spears, I just downloaded a model from Sketchfab for free. I downloaded that and then cleaned it up, especially the metal part of the blade, because it needed to be a little shinier, but I think that is perfect. For the flag, I just generated the white hand of Saruman in Midjourney, put that on a plane, put a clock sim on it. That was pretty much it, and then used a custom geometry node setup I did so that they would spawn on vertices of the same plane basically as the crowd. Again, I was using procedural crowds, and each instance was spawning on vertices, But it's pretty cool that it allows you to also distort that pattern so that you don't really read the grid as much as just feeling a little more organic, which is really cool. I also found some scaffoldings and random construction elements, medieval construction elements online, so I was able to grab those and put those around the scene so that it could feel like it's, living and breathing place. And then for the matte painting, I actually was able to find the same mountains that they used for the actual Isengard for the movies. So I grabbed a photo from the internet that I found that matched more or less the lighting, and then just put that in comp and started to put things together. Like the matte painting part to me at this point was pretty vital, just so I could see everything coming together as soon as possible and make any adjustments if needed. Okay, so just a little bit of a recap for day 2. Today I was able to actually accomplish everything I said earlier in the morning and more. I was able to push forward even the matte painting, which was a bit of a bonus, but considering how extensive it was to get it to the right spot, I'm actually very pleased with how it turned out. The smokes, those look fantastic to me, so at this point all that is left for me to do is just record myself against the wall with the costume that I have in mind for the scene, and then comp it as early as tonight. Maybe I can finish it tomorrow morning, which would give me the entirety of the day to either be done or just enjoy it, since it's the weekend and I shouldn't be doing this on the weekend. Don't work on weekends, it's bad. I was actually really curious to try the new magnetic mask tool from Final Cut Pro, so I just kind of went for it. And it was really easy, really fast. It's not the perfect mask. I ended up cleaning up a little bit of that in Nuke because there's like a little bit of a bright edge in the hair, just to clean up the edges so they're not too bright. This is an older version of the fix that I did. The latest version actually has an updated. And then once I put myself on a plane and put myself in the balcony, that was pretty much the entirety of the scene done and ready for render. Okay, so here we are. It's currently 1 in the morning. I sent a shot to the farm around 10 p.m. Believe it or not, it's actually done. So what happened is I worked on it pretty much all day until 10 p.m. is pretty much where I cut off the work, and then I sent it to Render Street. The job took off really quickly and it rendered within an hour, a little over an hour, which was perfect. So I was able to download that and start doing the compositing work, which I did most of it while it was rendering on the farm because I was working off of one frame. I decided to not work on this on Sunday because I do need to spend time with the family and see how far I'll take it. So in the end, really, it was a day and a half, not a whole weekend. Maybe tomorrow it will be a different day and I'll try to fix some things, but there's definitely things that don't work. In the end, when you think about how challenging it must have been back in the days to make this shot, this was like the trailer shot, and it took me a day and a half. It's just insane. I cannot go over this. Without further ado, let me show you what I have been making over the past day and a half. Let me know what you think in the comments, and enjoy it. Alright, so not too bad, not too shabby. I think it's pretty good, honestly. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what your thoughts are on the shot. If you see room for improvements, I definitely see a lot of things that I can continue fixing. Let me know if you have also some suggestions on other shots I can recreate. This was a lot of fun. This was actually a dream of mine when I was a kid to be able to recreate a shot like this, and here I am. I'm very happy, actually. Thank you guys for sticking around. If you like what you saw and want to see more of this, don't forget to like, subscribe. I would be extremely grateful. And I'll see you in the next one, guys. Ciao for now.